Red Mountain is a 1951 Technicolor Western starring Alan Ladd, Lizabeth Scott, Arthur Kennedy, and John Ireland. The plot. So what's it all about, mate? Set at the tail end of the Civil War, Ladd, Brett Sherwood, a captain in the Confederate Army, rescues a gold prospector from a lynch mob. Arthur Kennedy, Lane Waldron, a former Confederate soldier, is wrongly wanted for killing a gold assayer. Along with him is his beau, Chris, Lizabeth Scott. Chris dislikes Rebs intensely after they massacred her family, and takes an instant dislike to Brett. Brett is a dyed-in-the-wool true Southerner who deeply believes in the Confederate cause. He's on his way to join up with General Quantrill, John Ireland, who is on a covert mission to stir up rebellion in the West. When Brett makes it clear that he is the man the posse were really after, Lane and Brett fight it out, but Lane ends up breaking his leg badly in the tussle. When Quantrill turns up, Brett joins him, but soon realizes Quantrill is fighting his own war. He has joined forces with Little Crow's Indians to create his own regime, and is not troubled about how his war is fought or who he kills along the way. With Lane desperately needing a doctor and Brett and Chris having feelings for one another, Brett is left with no choice but to desert when he sees Quantrill is not willing to leave witnesses to his mission. But will he tame the general's bloodlust in time, or will they all face a gruesome end at the hands of the Indians? So what did you think, mate? So Red Mountain was a pretty decent Western star vehicle for its star Alan Ladd. It's kind of hindered, this film, a little bit by some static plotting, or the story kind of gets bogged down because we have two main protagonists, kind of Arthur Kennedy and Lizabeth Scott, who are kind of besieged in this cave for a large part of the film. Well, the latter part of the film anyway, and they're being come under attack from Quantrill, John Ireland, and his cohorts, the Indians, led by Jay Silverheels. And that goes on for a long time, and it's a bit kind of dull, really. But it's still a decent watch, this Western. It looks gorgeous, some beautiful scenery, some beautiful landscapes for the actors to play against, and it's got its own fair share of action in here as well. Some good shootouts, some good horse riding action, and it has got a really good ending, a really good kind of confrontation between John Ireland and Alan Ladd, which could have been stretched a little bit more. It's a little bit too brief, but it is quite watchable. It's pretty well shot, and some decent acting as well. I thought John Ireland was especially good as Quantrill, and Lizabeth Scott was pretty good also. I thought she reminded me of Lauren Bacall with a kind of a slightly more cutting edge to it. Alan Ladd was fine. It wasn't his best performance by any means, but he was fine. And poor Arthur Kennedy, for most of the film, he's kind of laid low with his broken leg, so he's kind of out of the picture and doesn't have a lot to do with the film. But I think they're all hindered by a kind of just a substandard script. It's a bit bland, the script, really. But a decent watch, this film, all round. I thought it was a beautiful looking Western, and it's pretty pacey for most part. It is bogged down by that kind of plot device where they're all stuck in this cave for a large portion of the film. But overall, a decent OATER for sure. Some good action, some great star power from Alan Ladd, and some decent performances. I would rate this film 6.4 Western stars out of 10. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.